So the other day I was on Amazon looking for alien-themed party decorations for an alien-themed party I was preparing to have. I'm still working on that video. And while looking through all the alien-themed decorations, I came across a fidget spinner that was supposed to look like an alien UFO. Now, I don't mean to be rude, but to be completely honest, I was not a huge fan of how the idea was executed. I didn't think the UFO looked that cool. But I absolutely loved the idea. Although I never really got into fidget spinners, I absolutely love all things alien. So I thought it'd be cool if today we tried to make our own improved UFO fidget spinner. Now the first thing we're going to need are some bearings so that our fidget spinner can actually spin. We could of course buy new bearings, but then we'd have to spend new bearing prices, and that's just not something I want to do. So instead, we're going to sift through the junk and see if we can't find an old pair of roller blades or roller skates or a skateboard or a razor scooter or something with bearings in them that we can salvage. And looky here, an old pair of skataroos for $5.49. But let's not get too excited just yet. Let's go ahead and make sure that the bearings aren't all froze up on us. And no, looks like they're actually spinning pretty well. I think these will work perfectly. Now that we're back home, let's go ahead and take these apart and see what we're working with. The bearings are actually looking really nice, and since 2 bearings come in each wheel, that means we got 16 bearings for just under $6. Not too shabby. So I'm going to take one of these bearings and head over to our CAD software so we can begin to design the actual UFO fidget spinner around it. Now, almost every fidget spinner I've ever seen is large enough to where it's uncomfortable to put in your pocket and carry around. And trying to put the fidget spinner in a pocket you already have something else like keys or a phone just makes it that much worse. And so for our fidget spinner, I have 2 design constraints. Number 1, I of course want it to look like an actual alien UFO, but number 2, I want it to be as small and compact as possible while still being large enough to comfortably fit in your hand. And so with all that in mind, let's get to work and see what we can do. Okay, so I think I just finished with the design. There are 3 different parts to it, one of which you use twice. And so let's get this over to the 3D printer and start printing. If you're wondering why I'm printing on Scotch tape, it's because it helps the print adhere to the bed a little bit better. You usually only have to do this with taller prints, and that's what I used it for previously, and I've just been too lazy to re-level the bed for this. And look at that, looking pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this in some water to get the tape off, and then we can get started on printing the next one. And so here we are with the 2 halves of the main shell, the base of the dome, and then the dome itself. Oh, and of course the bearing. And so assembly is pretty straightforward. We'll just insert the bearing into one of the halves and then super glue the 2 halves together. And you can see I'm using clamps just to guarantee we get a good bond. Once that's done, we can insert the base of the dome into the bearing. It's a pretty snug fit, which is good. And then super glue the dome itself onto that. Just, of course, be careful not to get any super glue into the bearing itself. That would not be good. Now when we go to spin this, you'll see it does not spin very well at all. Fidget spinner? Huh, more like fidget stopper, can I get an amen? But don't be alarmed, we can fix this. All we have to do is go over to the carpet and run it back and forth a few times to help free everything up. Look at that, spinning like a dream. If dreams spin, do they? Now something that's cool about these is you can customize them in a couple different ways. First off, when you're gluing the frame together, you can either line up the ridges like I did on this one, or offset them like I did on this one. Personally, I think the offset ones look a little bit cooler. And secondly, and most obviously, you can print them in any color or color scheme imaginable. On that note, I've printed about 32 different spinners in various color combos. My plan is to give these out to the teens at my church to see if this is cool or not so much. UFO Spinneroos, free 99. Some people got hung up on this. It's free 99. It's supposed to sound like $3.99, but it's completely free. But some people looked at this and are like, oh, so it's 99 cents? And I'm like, no, it's free 99. Never mind, it's free. So I guess let's see what they think.
I brought you wackadoodle something.
What is it? Can I have some?
Yes. No, unfortunately not. They're UFO Spinneroos.
I want the first one.
And they're free 99.
Is this from the aliens from that Friday night?
Wait, they're 99 cents?
No, they're free. Just the 99. Some of them, yeah.
What?
And then the inside's a little bearing. My dudes, I have Spinneroos.
Okay.
Free Spinneroos.
Ooh, free? Yeah. No, I don't fight.
Oh my land.
Yes, that is an amazing trick shot.
Awe-inspiring. You guys are all in my YouTube video.
There's been moments where I've come close. I'm guessing you made these?
Yeah. Spin it. Oh, haven't you? Look at that. Spinneroos. Give me 2 Spinneroos. Spin them both.
Okay. Here you go.
Oh my land. A new Spinneroo technique. Hey, grab one for your brother, will you?
So I think the teens did really like these things, but when the even younger kids got their hands on them, like the middle schoolers and even lower, they were ecstatic. I brought about 32 of them the first time, and the high schoolers took most of those. And then when the younger kids found out about them, they were like, kids who I've never even spoken to were coming up to me and they're like, how can we get more of these? So I made like 30 more and brought those the following Sunday and gave almost all of those away as well. Unfortunately, I don't have any video of the younger kids. I was like, attacked. But it is kind of funny, you know, they can't hold things quite as well, and so oftentimes when they go to spin them, they'll spin them and like knock them out of their hands at the same time, and so for a split second it actually looks like a UFO, and then it slaps an old lady across the face. But for that split second. But what do you guys think? Do you like these things? Or maybe not so much? Let me know down below. But regardless, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please feel free to hit the thumbs up and subscribe. But if you didn't, please feel free to hit the thumbs down and send me a death threat. It's been a little while since I've said that. And Lord willing, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and please feel free to subscribe.